Hey everybody, John Good here. Hello and good morning greetings. Well, good afternoon. I think we are somewhere Black River Falls, Wisconsin. Today is July 12, 2017. Wednesday. Local time there's 12:01. We are now just 156 miles away to Hopkins, Minnesota. Unfortunately, we're not going to make it there by 1 o'clock, so the broker called and they got me set up to do a work-in starting from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. tomorrow. Right now, we are traveling on this freeway, Highway 94, Interstate 94. So far, so good. Baby Blue's humming like a hummingbird. I don't know, she sounds a little bit more smoother. One of the reasons probably is that because I use one of those fuel injectors, cleaners. This was, I think, I'd say about 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Let's see. I used it over there at the pilot in Laramie, Wyoming, on the way to Salt Lake. Flying J here. Oriental Kitchen. They're on the other side of the freeway. Anywho, by the way, right now I am using the Sony HDR-AS 200V. couple of people I'd like to say hello to. Larry, I don't know if this is Larry, Al Graham, Philip Lee, Joe Thompson, Film Limited. That's pretty cute. JN4. Dennis McNone. I thought about buying one of those mini screenies. I don't know. Today is the 12th. Jay Johnson. It is the 12th. One of the things that I have been enjoying about the iPhone is the FaceTime. Since everybody in my family got the iPhone, kind of nice to have a little FaceTime with them once in a while. Kayla, I strictly use Sony products as far as cameras. I have never used GoPros. I think GoPros are like iPhones. They're a little bit complicated and different. Sony's are kind of like Androids. They're very simple to use. Let's see, I have a Sony AZ1. I have this one here, which is the HDR 200V. Then I have a Sony HDR 300. And I have the video camera or camcorder Sony 675 something. Tim Kayla likes this camera angle best. I guess he doesn't like the head cam. As I said many times, I gotta mix it up. Some people don't like the windshield mount cameras. Roza. Yellow deer. By the way, I came up with the perfect name for my next truck. And I can promise you this, you're gonna love it. I think, well, I think you will. In my mind, you will. I don't know if you will or not, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't want to divulge it right now because, well, I don't have a brand new truck yet. Plus, I don't want anybody stealing it. So if you had a white truck, they call it Snow White. Casey Site. Many years ago, somewhere in this stretch of highway, I can't exactly remember where, but I know it was on a downhill, and I also remember I was going east. It could be the stretch of highway right here. Man, this was like, this got to be like 23 years ago. I remember exactly that day, just can't remember the exact spot. And every time I go through here, it brings me back to that day. Yeah, it's got to be within a couple of miles of this stretch right here. And I know it was on the eastbound side. Anyway, as I was driving east, somebody shouted on the radio and says there's a four-wheeler that needed some help. And so I stopped, and the four-wheeler was on the shoulder. I stopped, and the guy was laying right there on the shoulder, unconscious. And I remember his name was Richard something, and he worked for American Airlines. He had a ID tag hanging on his shirt. So anyway, I came up to where the four-wheeler was. There he was, laying down on the shoulder, unconscious, and I stopped. I also remember one of the four-wheeler just came to a dead stop right there in the middle of the highway, almost causing an accident. What happened was, I think the guy kind of, well, anyway, the ambulance came by, cops came by, and I woke him up. They put him on a stretcher. They asked him what happened. He says, well, he felt kind of sick, so he stopped and got out, tried to walk and get some fresh air. And he soiled himself for some reason, as if he has eaten something really bad. I could still smell, I could still remember that odor he had. I remember the EMT lifting up his shorts, inspecting the debris. I tried to get out of there before anybody else could notice. And next thing I know, cop chases me before I could get into the truck and asked me what happened. I was trying to play the unknown hero, the nameless heroes. You know, the stories where people help out certain, you know, great things, and then next thing you know, they're gone. Nobody noticed. Nobody remember who they were. And that was the end of the story. Could be this one right here. I don't know. I know it's within this downgrade on the eastbound side. It's just one of those things that every time I go through here, it just triggers that memory. Every time. Come to think about it, yeah, this is it right here. But it's, as I said, it's on the eastbound side. I think I remember a lot of people just passing by, not stopping. They were probably thinking, "Ah, there goes another drunk." Hey, you must admit, if you see a guy laying flat on the ground, your first instinct's probably, guy passed out drunk, right? How many of you out there remember the episode of Chips where Ponch and his partner John, I think is his name, they were training this couple of a team of these women motorcycle cops. And the episode goes where these ladies were chasing down this motorist that was kind of swerving back in and out of the lane. And their first instinct told them that the guy was drunk. And so Ponch and his partner John came by and looked at the guy's medical bracelet, and he was diabetic. I don't know, it's been what, 30 years since I've seen that episode. You know, memories are like, they're still pictures, not movies, not moving pictures. It's just one picture at a time. Like a time lapse. Well, at least that's how I remember things anyway. Also like to say hello to Scott Coleman. Scott, one of these days I'll swing by over there at over there in Iowa. As far as me liking iPhone, I don't know. It's different, it's new. miles to the Minnesota state line. Thinking this could be the one right here. Who knows? I suppose we'll catch you guys later. As always, thank you for watching. JBG here. Have a good and godly day.